Welcome to the Bagration scenario of my Panzer Corps II Grand Campaign. I have played this scenario twice. The first one I completed successfully without incident. I ended up with about 23 or 24,000 prestige, a little more than I started with. I started the next scenario and then realized that my Wehr infantry was gone. I completely forgot about him. I was, doing this and doing that, and this is a fearsome fire that is going on here. There's multiple fronts and a lot of units, and I just lost him in the mix of auxiliary units. And I said, no, I don't mind losing units per se, but I have to know that they're mine and be cognizant of it, and I didn't. So I reloaded, hoping to replicate the first playthrough, and then I was sort of hurrying along and doing this and that and the other, and then I lost a flame panzer and anti-air because I think I was going too fast. I just wanted to get through it again like I had the first time. And then I said, well, I don't want to do that either because I successfully completed it, but lost my Wehr infantry inadvertently. So to make a longer story short, I'm going to play this scenario again, but I'm not going to narrate it. I'm going to concentrate all of my attention on the task at hand, and then I'll overdub it afterward. This is a fairly complex situation, especially the way that I'm playing it. We are going to exponentiate the briefing into actionable, meaningful tactics. So he says, maybe you should have dismissed the whole army. And I get like this because I've played the scenario twice and I'm sort of embellishing it. But, well, let's see what we can do with that.
My apologies.
Now, hold on here.
Well, maybe he should have just dismissed the whole damn army while he's at it.
Well, you know what? We are going to dismiss the whole damned army in a way. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the guys that are stationed in the south to the north, and we're going to bring the northern army to the south. We're going to listen to this guy, but you have to sort of read into it.
My apologies, Herr General. But I just found out Field Marshal Manstein has been dismissed from service to sideline one of our best military minds at its most critical hour. It defies all logic and reason.
I think Manstein was this guy's buddy, and, well, whatever the case.
Worse still, the latest problem you've been called up for is no fire. It is a full-on inferno.
Indeed, and in honor of the inferno, and we are going to upgrade our 3 Flame Panzer 3s to the higher order Flame Panzer 38T. It has a couple of more points of soft attack and maybe get the job done better than not.
Abwehr finally determines the main axis of the Soviet advance. And it is here, at Minsk, where the hammer is falling.
Yeah, the hammer is falling there, and there's not a lot that can be done.
Because of successful Soviet deceptions, I can only offer you the most marginal of auxiliaries and support. And they are almost all in danger of being immediately overrun.
Well, they will be overrun if this artillery here has a chance to pound them repeatedly for turns on end if they just sit there, but they're not going to sit there. They're going up north to the city here, and all the guys that we place are coming down here.
Arrayed against you is the largest and best equipped Soviet force you have faced so far. Expect them to hit you hard and fast. Be extra cautious about deploying too far east.
We're not going anywhere near the east. We could care less about those bonus objectives. These guys essentially are going to be overrun. There's not much that can be done.
Best advice I can give you is to try and use the natural terrain to your advantage. Establish linked lines of defenses here, here, and here. Try to string out and slowly bleed the Russians of their strength.
We're not going to try to slowly bleed them of anything. We're going to try to hammer them. This southern aspect there, that's...
Stand strong, General.
We're going to send all of our units down, and then these guys again up. That's the end of that. Let's roll the overdub. Alright, here goes nothing. I set the thing in about time and a half. I'm going to start the recording. Let's go. So I have the space bar pressed for these this front here. There's no hope essentially. And try to take out that anti-air and get these guys down there ASAP. If I can fast forward to just shuffling about. I can, and I will. We're moving the guys from the auxiliaries in the south up to the north city, and the guys that place near that city down south. I'm afraid to go too deep in there because of the 85s with the 3 stars, I think, the anti-air. I'm just essentially staying where I can see or what I know. I know that there are more deeper, but I don't... Well, after playing the scenario twice, I think I know exactly where, or very close to it, but... That's the way we're going to do it. And take 1 point out of this guy. This is the way to do it. This blob of planes up here, that's what you should take out, I think. If anything, with your air. I suppose there's a great many ways to play this. You could shuffle your air up here and try to deal with these guys. Those guys will be to that city before long in the auxiliaries, so have to hold them back as well as they can. We need to finish this activity very quickly, certainly by turn 5. X1 anti-tank. Vigilant tank up there will hose a couple of these units, artillery. Overrun that guy, put some hurt in this guy. As a provocateur, Tiger 1. X1 anti-tank. We'll move that Pioneer here in the swamp next to that guard. 15-0 in our favor. More of our auxiliaries into that anti-air unit there. That's a Wehr infantry there. Heal him fully up. Get these guys forward here. More carnage in the air. We'll set him up and heal him. We need to take out that 85 anti-air ASAP on both of these. Or all three of them, actually. This east is almost done. It's gonna flame out or black out or whatnot shortly when that guy dies. There are a lot of units headed west our way. We have about 2 turns to clear as much of this as we can, and then we'll have to send some guys back. I want to try to get that flame panzer next to that anti-air. I think we can clear a path here with perimeter control, like that. Boom. We'll just take some damage and heal up. At least I think we'll heal up. I like the opening or the briefing. The fires have become an inferno. It's in fact the only way to deal with the inferno is with these 38T Inferno tanks. I think it's well thought out. I don't think it's accidental that it mentions Inferno. Who knows though? But it fits far too well to be anything, to be an accident. He probably discovered this while playtesting and such. That's just my guess, who knows? Maybe I read too much into it. Whatever the case is, I have fun with it. So there's a 15 overstrength SU whatnot 152 or some such anti-tank weapon there. It's a brutal contraption. The only way we're going to deal with it is to hopefully surrenderize it with the 15 centimeter shock tactics artillery that we have. Either that, or we'll just have to take a horrendous amount of damage to displace the units around it, and then get at it and take a horrendous amount of damage while we do that as well. Because our 38-2 or T flame panzers are not going to do a thing against that hard target there, that's for sure. More air carnage. Whittle it down. That anti-tank supports the 152, which supports the 203. So we'll just bomb the anti-tank there. Should I bomb the 203? Maybe. Double support from our camouflage 15. MVP of the series, definitely camouflage 15. So I think if we step, I'm gonna try to draw these guys, I think, into a camouflage trap. Let's see if it works. My recollection is it doesn't work particularly well. At least in this playthrough. In the previous iteration, the 15 exploded. The 15 strength anti-tank exploded on this unit here. But in this playthrough, it didn't happen quite as efficiently. .203 gone. There's a camouflaged anti-tank as well as the 15 artillery there. Let's... We're already, well, those guys have as yet to arrive except in force, but that leading edge there is upon us, upon us. There's nothing much that Pioneer can do down here. It's all open ground, and what's not, there's 3 flame panzers already. I was going to go down there, but I think better of it. Let's get out of that area. It's an anti-tank right here that I was counting on support, but there's just no point in it. We'll go up in the other direction. Could go there. I'm thinking about it again, but let's head up here. We can get at that 15 there. 15 overstrength unit. We'll bomb him. We'll bombard him and then bomb him. And then surrenderize him. Bye-bye 85. Hello, unfettered access with Air Force. Those armors are tanks down there, sitting ducks relative to our Air Force now. I don't think they have much meaningful defense. I think there's an errant mobile AA gun wandering around or two, but we'll take him out as well. Whoops. There's still quite a few units about, but I'm starting to think on it and heading back up north. The question is, there are quite a few units about, and can we do it? More and more are showing up. 2 4-star cavalry there, I'm sure they're 4-star. At this point, we need to get the heck out of here. Some of these guys need to get out. Those guys are in front of this camoed SU or Stug 3F, but I don't think it works out because there's essentially no armor in the area. Just those 4-star cavalrymen. Pioneers in the city, overstrength, first strike, evasive. So he's going to be hard to move. His zone of control is such that they can't get by because of those rivers as well. I think that guy took a couple of 15 centimeter rounds there. The double support got him. Wasn't particularly keen on that double support when I first got it, but it's sort of growing on me. I still say that when you really, really need the support, when you're attacked by like 5 or 6 enemies, and that guy's in the center of a configuration or defensive formation, you won't have enough rounds to carry on. So the logic is that when you really need the support, if your support mechanism has double support, you won't have it because you'll run out of ammo. And when you don't really need it, you have more than you need. Like I just put the paint on that thing with 2 rounds, but would have 1 round done essentially just the same. But I'm still, it's kind of growing on me. I think just because I like the 2 rounds and the units being completely obliterated as opposed to just sort of dispatchable. Well, now that I logically think about it, perhaps I don't really like it so much, but it's not as bad as I thought when I first was complaining about it, or realized that my prime support mechanism now was going to run out of ammunition sooner than later, or sooner than it had been, because oftentimes it would really fire at 5 different enemies that would attack earlier in the campaign. It happened at least 2, 3, 4 times, but if it had run out of ammunition, it would have changed the course of the battle, really. If it had double support, I could have lost a couple of units, I think, because there'd be no rounds left. I'm not complaining about it too deeply, though. Again, it works. Hasn't bit me yet. These guys are just trying to hold down their ground there. That camouflaged Stug 3F is not really effective. I think they do various flybys via the air. I don't know why they don't go headlong with armor into these infantry surrounding it, but I don't think it happens very often. But it has gotten a couple of kills. Certainly not complaining about it, that's for sure. Let's see what happens here. There's a lot of infantry on this field. I think that's why I don't think it is nearly as effective as I thought it would be, because everyone is infantry. Infantry, infantry, and more infantry. Like, did I need that second shot down there? No. I'd have overrun him with the first shot. I think he was down to 6, and then the second one lowered him down to 2. We'll see that shortly. Like here, this unit here, it's down at 2. It was at 6. 6 or 2, it doesn't matter. We'd have overrun him just the same. So that's why I don't really like double support so much. I say we're going to surrenderize that guy. Good for us. Get some prestige there. So we're done. We're done. We'll just go take a couple of errant flags, I think, and then get back north as quickly as possible. There's a city over to the east in this lower portion of the map, an airfield with a couple of flags and whatnot. I don't think there's much over there. They haven't shown much interest. In one of the previous playthroughs, I think there's an infantry or something that knows there. You can, you know, if it does at this point, if it doesn't show any sort of animosity, why should I go over there and attack it? We have plenty of action up here in the north, so there's no point in going over there. There's no victory condition there. They're all to the west of the map. That anti-tank there that right here is about to get itself into some trouble. I get a bit aggressive with what I think is a situation under control, and it turns out to be not so much so. A scout plane could have lit this whole thing up, but I don't really like using scout planes. I think the game is funner without them. I think, I'll be perfectly honest, I think the reason I don't like to use them is because they always get shot down, and then I inevitably have to click the menu, buy it, and then place it. I still think the game is funner without them, though. For that reason that I just said, and then just like not knowing what's out there. I inevitably paint my my recon plane a colorful color, like this violet is Sixth Sense. I think I tend to paint my recon cars the same color, and then I have to buy it, click it, place it, and then paint it again. And after doing that like 4 or 5 times, I finally throw up my hands and say, you know what, the heck with these things. I don't need them. I don't want them. It's funner without them. Now, as to whether I convince myself that it's funner without them, or... It's certainly not as efficient without them. It's certainly more efficient, tactically speaking, to know what's there. But sometimes tactical effectivity is not the same as fun. So... I'll put some damage in that thing. It's a close terrain, 0 close defense anti-tank auxiliary unit. Well, These boys have finally shown up there. Up they are. Here we go. Organic transport. Let's move it out. That 10.5, it has no organic transport. It moves 1. It's just going to watch over that whole area there. Just got to move him up there to cover those units. This is a woefully inadequate force to deal with whatever is up there. We're about to find that out in greater detail. It's raining out as well, or this whole situation here would probably have worked out as well as not if I could have just bombed that unit, bombed this unit, bombed that unit. He could have overrun and then healed up, but as it is now, he's sort of off by himself, this unit here, the Tiger anti-tank unit. And there's no way to move him and overrun this artillery piece either. We just put damage into it. There's no way to essentially overrun it. And now we're encircled, and now what can we do? We can turn it to an anti-tank, de-encircle ourselves here, but how long does that last for, really? This lot here is sad relative to firepower. Everything else is going well. And then I think there's some more very potent units that are going to show up in this sector shortly. Luckily, it's going to be a sunny day out tomorrow. We need somebody up here. We don't know that quite yet, but the situation is questionable, and it's going to get a lot more so right now. Yeah. Encircled again. I think that's the third turn running. This guy has not been able to heal up to full strength. This unit here. I brought the Provocateur Tiger over here to try to deal with that. I think this guy is gonna... I think this cavalryman is gonna attack the recon in close, but end up against the Provocateur. It's still ugly. Luckily, we have our Air Force and those 20 strength artillery, mobile artillery are gone by and large now. Vigilant Tiger has returned from the south. We're just sort of hack and slashing our way into trying to get out of this sticky situation. There it is, yeah. Provocatized. Would have we provocatized the full strength 15? Probably. We healed up. We've done it. We're safer now. I swear there's another 15 overstrength anti-tank that's about to show up here. That's the camo artillery there. I'll try to draw these guys in. We'll have the camo Stug up there as well against that 10 strength, the Flame Panzer. We'll just head over in this direction with our infantry. These guys have rebased at that base. They'll be gone before long. I'm going to try to take out as many as I can right now while they're here. That's a pioneer on a supply center in a urban area. You should be very hard to move. There's a 15 again here, the overstrength. I'm not even sure it's a tank or what it is, but whatever it is, it's a major pain as a reincarnation of that guy from the Kursk battle. Think we can surrenderize that guy if we play our cards right. Surrenderize both these for some prestige, but we're gonna leave ourselves just a bit open, maybe. He's overrunning the this unit here, this 15 strength. If he pings on him, he could ping down here as well and overrun the provocateur in its entirety. So we need to deal with that right now, so that he doesn't do that. We'll get the Flame Panzer in the way and hopefully stop that. But wow. I'm still not entirely sure that I stopped it, but we put some pain into him with that tactical bomber, and for whatever reason he doesn't overrun the provocateur unit. I don't recall exactly what he does. A lot of infantry attacked that Wehr infantryman. A lot of them. I think there's even one more that comes. No, that's him. He didn't attack the provocateur, he went for the Flame Panzer instead, which was a full strength 15, and he knocked him down by 8 points, so far as I can recall. But whatever the case, he didn't overrun our provocateur, and now I think he's going to get done. We're going to move our 15 on the river, supply some suppression, use shock tactics, pin his movement, move the provocateur up, merge him, and surrenderize that guy. After applying just a bit more suppression there, let's see what it is. We have a sufficient amount. Oh, look at that, we've done it. I think the provocateur is going to overrun that tank right above, well, right here. We'll merge him back up and then overrun this guy. Three turns left. And overrun that with a flame tank. 13 heart attack is not bad. 5 stars. We'll merge the provocateur up. Heal him back up. $500 points. I'd rather pay the 500 than risk losing him in some random way that some partisan tank jumps out of somewhere near the side of the board that I didn't know about, and then boom. There goes my tank. I think there are quite a few of these guys that we can surrender. The armor, for whatever reason, lumbers across the board and doesn't really advance as quickly as the infantry. In the previous couple of playthroughs, I've always been able to acquire a great deal of prestige in the last turn or two. And I'm sure the same thing happens here. We end up with about 23,000, which is essentially what we started with. There's a lot of surrendering that's going to happen here. I think that guy is worth quite a bit, the overstrength guard tank there. going to try to surrenderize him, and I'm going to do more than try. IS-2. I'm not sure how he got the best of that that unit there. He must have run out of rounds, this Tiger tank, because he has readiness. I must have run him completely out of rounds, and then he just took a round from the IS-2, drove him from 15 down to 7. That must be what happened. I still don't get it. I thought it was an artillery piece for a minute there, but he's a tank. So we heal up, and then we just wait. That's all I can do. There's nothing can be done. Bring the Air Force to bear on these guys and hope we can slow them down or take enough wind out of their sails or gas out of their tank or whatnot to where they'll repair themselves, and then they'll have suppression. Then we can shock tactics them and surround them and such and extract the prestige, which is, well, exactly what we did or will do. I'm wondering whether to heal that unit or not. I think I've had my fill of full price. We have 2 turns left. I may do it anyway. I'm not sure, but so all of those guys have some suppression, and they healed themselves up, and now they're ready for more suppression. We're gonna see about surrenderizing. I think that guard tank 15. I think I screw this up. I attacked this 43 tank instead of the guard. I had a 4 against the guard, and I end up with a 3 because I take a suppression point against this tank right here. So C24. Then I attack this guy for one suppression and 8 or 1-7, overrun him, and then boom, I only have a 2-3 against this guy. It's like, what did I do that for? I don't know. Whatever the case is, it works out well enough. We just need to apply a bit, one more suppression. There we go. We brought a recon in and surrenderize him. Last turn. I'm going to surround that unit, I think, and then surrenderize the IS-2 or whatever that tank is there. $34.85, so he's been shock tactics pinned, surrendered. So back up to about 23,000 prestige, same as we started with. And that should do it. Well, that's the end. We'll choose the Baltic, and we'll call that an episode. I hope to see you in the next one.